Hello and welcome to the Atlantic DeFi podcast. My name is Fidel, and we're here to teach you about decentralized finance and blockchain in general. So, today we're going to tell you how to make a modest amount of money using stablecoins. Now, right now, we're in the middle of a bear market. We don't know how long this would last. It could last months, it could last years, it could last weeks. We don't know exactly when the bear market in the crypto space is going to go, but you can still make gains with stablecoins. And there's a couple of strategies that you could use to make those gains. Now, this is not financial advice. Make sure you do your own research, and this is just educational purposes only. So, we're going to start with the quickest and easiest way, which is earning interest to lending. Now, this is the most basic and easiest way to understand crypto and DeFi when you want to make a modest income with stable coins. Now, what you do is that you put your stable coins in a protocol like Aave, Compound, Venus, and Maker. These are the most solidified ones, but there's a lot of them out there. And you put your coins there, your stable coins like USDC or Tether, and you will lend it to other people, or the protocol does that. He lends it to other people, and you will earn a modest income with it. Could be yearly, could be monthly, and this may vary depending on the time that you do this. So this is the easiest and quickest way to do it. The second way is through yield farming. Yield farming, you are providing liquidity to exchanges like Uniswap or CurveDAO, and you will provide this, and in exchange, you will get an interest on that liquidity that you're providing with the exchange fee. So when somebody wants to exchange stable coins, you're providing that, and there's an exchange fee attached to it. What they do is that they share those fees with you. Now, you can do this on many exchanges, and you can see what the yield interest is, and this is per month. So you can actually see every month how much money you have made and the liquidity that you have provided. Now, the problem with this is that you may be subject to something called impermanent loss. Impermanent loss is when the price of the cryptocurrency that you have goes down or changes in the price that it was supposed to. With stablecoins, it doesn't happen as much, but it can happen depending on the stablecoin that you're using. So like I said, make sure you do your research before getting into it. The third way, and this is another easy way, this is through staking. Some protocols offer stablecoin staking in exchange for rewards. Now, this may not be a percentage of the stable coin. So in this, mostly is US dollars that we're talking about. So make sure that there are other stable coins like gold, euros, but mostly US dollars backed stable coins are the ones that we're referring to. With staking, you could put it on any protocol and you can get probably the native token of that protocol. Now, why do they do this? The reason why they do this is because they want to get money on their treasuries and want to get value lock on their treasury so they can do other things with it. So by you staking it, they are willing to give you a reward depending on what it is. Sometimes it is an interest on your stable coin, sometimes it's the native token. So again, you can do your research and make sure you check which one is the best for you. Now, the downside of this is that depending on the protocol that you're getting, this may be subject to hacks and it may be subject to rug pull. So you have to, again, and we're going to iterate this along, is do your research before putting your money in any protocol. And also make sure that the money that you're putting in, you can afford to lose it. Don't put money that you cannot afford to lose. Just put money that if it goes, it's okay. If you make some money, that's fine. But if you don't, that's okay. So make sure you do that because again, the DeFi space can be tricky depending on what protocol are you using. Some of them are new and they're promising accelerating rates. Sometimes I've seen up to 50% monthly yield, 30%, 35%. If that's the case, then you need to search it really, really well because it's probably too good to be true. The other way would be to arbitrage trading. Now, arbitrage trading is a bit more complicated, and it's basically you are taking advantage of the price of stablecoins in one exchange and selling it on another exchange for a higher price. And a lot of traders do this. However, you have to be really careful doing this and you have to pay attention to what you're doing. Not to mention that if you're doing this manually, you are competing with a lot of trading bots and quantum computer trading. So it is not recommendable for people to just do it by themselves. Now, there are some strategies depending on the country that you're in. For example, if you're in a country like Australia, that the time change is different. Because of the time change, if you go to an exchange in Australia, and if you go to an exchange, let's say in the United States or another part of the world, the prices may be different because they haven't updated it within the time. Again, that doesn't mean it does not happen, and there are protocols that already have contracts with that, but it all depends also on the stable coin that you are using. So again, you have to be really careful with this strategy because it is something that it might backfire. And again, you're competing with computers if you're going to do this manually. And even if you get trading bots, which you can do, you still got to monitor what you're doing. Now, the other strategy that we have is crypto savings and just regular tradings. Now, before, there was a couple of apps and protocols. There's still some out there that work like banks. So pretty much you deposit your money, and just have it deposited, you earn an interest rate basically to lending. That's what they were supposed to do. But there was a lot of fraud. I remember myself, I was in an app called Celsius, and that app went bankrupt. There was another app called BlockFi that went bankrupt when the whole Terra FTX scandal happened. So there's still a couple of them, but again, be very careful because there's a lot of these apps that they are not backed by anything. They are not backed by any government that will assure you that your money will be returned. And you got to be very careful on what you're doing and make sure you know to when to get out. Do not set it and forget it. Now, the last strategy that we have, and this is the riskiest one of all, is using algorithm stablecoins. Now, what's an algorithmic stablecoin? An algorithmic stablecoin is a token that's not backed one-to-one with anything. It's not backed with US dollars, it's not backed with euros, it's not backed with gold or anything, which you would say, well, then it's not really a stable coin. Well, the way that it works is that it has a complex financial mechanism that helps it peg mostly with the US dollar. However, these ones can bring a high yield of return. At one point, there was one called Terra Luna that had Terra USD, and they were doing up to 20% monthly. But the problem with that, if you Google it and you know the Terra story, is that it depegged because it wasn't feasible, and it created one of the biggest, most destructive bank runs